The inspiration behind Karroyul and the motivation to make it was purely by chance, to be honest with you. Kim Scott, who was a illustrious and Miles Franklin award-winning published author, Noongar published author here in WA in Perth, had adapted one of his short stories into a screenplay, and we were very fortunate to be approached by Kim to produce this. And I read the script, I instantly fell in love with it, and I thought, you know what, this is something I really want to direct. I want to try and see if I can have a go at directing this. So with that blessing of him as the writer, we were able to progress forward, and I guess that's how it all came together. I really love the way the character has this sort of disconnect from their past, but obviously there's this kind of almost spiritual connection underlying her journey to want to unknowingly want to connect to country and to where she comes from and to her people, and to try and heal that damage that's been done in the past. So yeah, I really want to explore that, and I had a great crew with me, and we're able to do that pretty successfully, I think. So Karroyul is a Warran word which basically means to go and then to come back, so in a way returning. Well, with the locations, we really didn't have that location in mind when we started out. Originally what happened was the story was set more to where Kim Scott, the author's country is from, which is around sort of Esperance. It's much more scrubby, much more low-lying, sort of traditional outback kind of bush location. And the cinematographer, Torstein Dierting, who I'd worked with a number of times before and was discussing this script with, had suggested thinking about somewhere a bit more cinematic, a bit more visual, where we can really play up the big screen and play the story out on the screen with this great location. And he told me all about the southwest, tall timber country, which I'd sort of vaguely knew of before, but I'd never really been down to for a very long time. And once we did the location recce, it was then that I really connected to this place, and I wanted to try and explore that story there. The uncle character Bruce Carter, who played Jeff in the film, I'd always envisioned that particular actor for that role. I'd seen him a number of times in a number of other feature films and TV series and stuff, and I really loved his presence and his kind of authenticity as someone who'd been into prison and then come out and was really trying to turn their life around with culture. So that's why we wanted to get him on board. And when he said yes, I was over the moon. But certainly the lead female role, Chanel, who ended up playing that role, was much more difficult to try and locate. So it was a very lengthy audition process. We auditioned in Sydney, we auditioned right around WA, and then it just turned out that she was right there in our backyard, and we auditioned her, and she was wonderful. For me, shooting in Western Australia is wonderful because, being from Western Australia, obviously I'm very proud of where I come from, and I guess another thing is, having worked interstate a number of times in other locations, Northern Territory, New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, you name it, I've kind of filmed there. There's just something that really appeals to me to represent WA on the screen, to show people just how wonderful and diverse this place is. I mean, you've got the southwest, which is all, as you've seen in Karroyul, tall timber and kind of wet and damp, but also wonderful, the beaches down there. And then you go inside to Kalgoorlie, which is all that wonderful sort of sparse sort of landscape, and then the Kimberley, which is absolutely spectacular, in the Pilbara. So I don't think anywhere else in Australia has that range of locations. So for me, that's what makes us so special, and it makes me so proud to put Western Australia up on the screen and to capture not just the visuals and the locations, but also the culture and the people as well. And being an Indigenous filmmaker from Western Australia, there's nothing that makes me prouder than to put Indigenous culture up on the screen.